Hey guys, my name is Noah. Welcome to a hookah setup video. Today we're going to be doing an apple bowl. Everything you see on the screen is needed. It is all very crucial to how we're doing this. Some things can be subbed out, as you will see later on in the video. Why do I think my way is the best? Well, I've watched videos, I've read online, and I have tested and mixed and matched and figured out this is the best way not only to get a very sweet flavor from your apple, but to also get a long session. We're talking hour and a half off of your session without having to worry about anything. So what you're going to need to do is get your apple. What kind of apple do you want to use? Maybe a Fuji, maybe a green, maybe a red, bitter, sweet. It's up to you. It will give you a different flavor depending on what apple you use. But my favorite is using a Granny Smith because it's nice and wide. So now I don't have to worry about going as deep. The deeper the bowl is, the more likely you're going to have a shorter session or a harder time getting to the bottom and cooking that bottom shisha. So you're going to want nice wide so you don't have to go as deep and you can get the heat going all throughout it, which is much better. Now, you're going to cut the top off of your apple. Do it at the widest part. Be very careful. Once you've done that, put the top to the side. We can come back and use that later. You can either core it right away like I'm doing, or you can wait. It's up to you. Next, you're going to take your knife and you're going to cut slits in it to start the cutting process. At this point, you can start cutting some of that out with a knife. I choose not to. I go straight in there with the teeth on this core and just start scrubbing it out. Why am I scrubbing it out? Because I can get a really nice flat surface off of it. I don't have to worry about getting a janky surface that's a little bit up, a little bit down. You know, now Shisha is not completely solid in one spot. So we're going to be doing it this way so that we can get a really solid base going. The better the base, the better the session. Once you've gone down a couple of inches, remember this whole time to be drying it out with towels, getting off the extra. You don't want it all juicy inside there. You've cored it out, you put it through the core. Now, you're going to want to put toothpicks down. So you got to go about a couple inches down because you got to do the toothpicks on the bottom in 2 rows. And then depending on if you like to burn your shisha on your tinfoil or not, it's up to you. I don't choose to. That's how deep you need to go. So once you get that set, start putting your toothpicks in there in 1 row. Then you're going to go again in another row. Why are we using toothpicks? We're going to be using toothpicks to keep the shisha off of the apple. If your shisha is touching the apple completely, you are going to get more sweet flavors. It's very true, but because of all the juices that are soaking into your shisha to give you that sweeter vapor, you're not going to be able to cook it at the bottom. It's going to be almost impossible to get it hot enough to actually cook all of that because it's so juicy now. So that's why we're using these, is it keeps it off there. You keep getting the same sweetness from your apple, but you're not soaking your shisha at the bottom. So that means you're going to have a long session. You're going to be cooking everything all the way through. Take some scrubber steel, you can get this at Walmart, and put it up inside the stem. That's going to help as well because you have less of a chance of any shisha getting down into your bowl and having to clean out your bowl and have a hard time with it or getting a funky taste from anything. Take it and fluff pack right on the top. Like I said, depends on how much you want in there, how little you want in there, touching or not touching the tinfoil. I chose to go with some trifecta apple pie. This gave a really great sweetness to that apple pie flavor. It was really nice. Now you're going to take your tinfoil and you're going to put it over top. You're not going to put any holes though. The more you mess around with the apple, the more fragile it's going to get and the more likely you're going to have a cave in or it's going to fall apart and something like that. Instead, you're going to take off that tinfoil once you have the look of it and put it over a corresponding cup of some sort and put your holes right there. Once you've done that, cut off all the excess around it and put it back on your apple. Now, here's the fun part. You're going to get out your staple gun and you're going to staple right beside each other all the way around and get a really tight seal on that tinfoil. You can use toothpicks, you can use other stuff to hold on the tinfoil, but it's going to sag. The gun really keeps everything really tight so you don't have to worry about any sagging going on. Ain't no sagging going on around here. Hey. Now, everything's on there. We're going to build a fence next. The fence is used so we can make sure that the coals don't fall off, don't flop off, don't fly anywhere. And also, if your session's not what you want it to be, you need a little bit more heat, you can take another piece of tinfoil with a couple holes in it and put it right on top. Then everything will heat up even more and you can get all your shisha cooked thoroughly and deliciously. You've done that. Now it's time to put on your coals. So you're going to put them on. I usually do 3 halfway through, then I'll add the tinfoil on top. Why did we save the apple for the top of the apple? You can use some toothpicks and you can put it on top there if you want like more of an arty look, and that will help a little bit heat stay in there. It'll condense the heat a little bit more. At the end of the day, you're going to end up cooking the top of that apple. It's going to smell kind of funky, so I choose not to do that. But it looks really nice when you do it for friends and stuff like that. Which brings me to my last point. Why are we choosing to do it this way? Why are you choosing to use an apple? Do you really get that much taste out of an apple? You don't. At the end of the day, you get a very small bit of sweetness and apple flavor out of it. But the aesthetic of it is perfect for when you're having friends over or somebody's doing a first time session with you and you want to give them a really great experience because they can see that. My mother smoked for the first time about 2 months ago for her birthday, and I did an apple with double apple and mint inside the bowl. She could taste all this sweetness and all this apple and all this stuff. Doesn't even taste barely any licorice. There's tons of licorice in double apple. That's all it is. But because I had the aesthetic of the apple bowl, her mind said, this is going to taste like a sweet apple. So that's the reason that you're going to be using this, or an orange or a grapefruit. Speaking of other fruits, comment what you want to see next. Do you want to see me do an apple again? Do you want to see me do an orange? Do you want to see me do a grapefruit? How about an onion? Maybe an avocado? I don't care. I'll do it. You just let me know, and I'll give it a shot and make it work and see how it tastes for you. Like, subscribe. I'm going to have lots of content coming out. I got lots of reviews if you haven't already seen them. My name is Noah. Thanks for watching. Have a great week.